We all need to eat. So what if I told you that something as simple as eating a meal could nourish you more than just physically? What if something as simple as eating a meal could nourish your spirit, deepen your relationships, and even revitalize your community? I believe that gathering together and sharing a meal has the power to do just that. Together, we're going to explore some really challenging data about the state of our communal well-being in the US. But then we're going to explore one simple but meaningful practice that you can start using today to make an impact in your own life and the lives of people around you. And that is sitting down and eating a meal with someone. In the United States, we are facing an epidemic of loneliness and isolation. Our social connection is declining. We have fewer relationships and we're spending less time with the people we care about. Almost half of Americans would say they have 3 close friends or fewer, a significant decline from previous generations. And we aren't spending very much time with those friends either. On the community level, only 16% of Americans feel they're well connected to their community. And our level of isolation is having an impact on our health. Now, all of this was happening even before the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID changed the world around us, and it changed the way we interact with the world. It changed our relationships, and it changed how we feel about gathering. For many people, large group gatherings still feel challenging or unsafe. So in this post-lockdown world, why should we gather? I mentioned before that our level of isolation is having an impact on our health. In fact, it's having a really significant impact on our mental health and our physical well-being. According to data analysis done by the United States Surgeon General, social isolation, that is, lacking connection to the people around us, is more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's twice as dangerous as drinking 6 alcoholic beverages daily. And it's significantly more dangerous than physical inactivity and air pollution combined. Those who are lacking social connection are at increased risk of early death from all causes. But conversely, as isolation negatively impacts our health, social connection greatly reduces medical risk, and it improves outcomes across the board. If we experience an adverse medical event, we are 50% more likely to survive if we report feeling connected to our communities. And if we're socially connected, we're less likely to get sick in the first place. If we do get sick, we have a stronger and therefore more effective immune response to that virus. Social connection benefits us on a biological level, but the benefits do not stop there. Our mental health increases, and our risk for suicidal ideation and attempts, for self-harm, and for depression all decrease when we feel connected to the people and communities around us. Now, it's important to remember when considering this data that this research was focused on in-person gathering and community building. That is not to say there aren't benefits to social media and online communities. In fact, those spaces are a place of belonging and access for many people. I'm thinking particularly of people who live in rural settings and queer folks. Those communities can be a lifeline. But I also want to encourage you to prioritize in-person community building whenever possible for all of the reasons that I've shared and many more. Because when we're socially connected, when we have systems of support and people in our physical community, we can rely on those in times of personal struggle, tragedy, illness, or injury. Now, we've talked about the dangers of isolation and the importance of having systems of support and community. So I want to turn our focus to this idea of communal meals. Now, communal meals are only one way that we can engage this work, but I think they're a really great place to start. And here's why. Communal meals create a structure for gathering. You don't have to worry what you're going to fill an hour with. you'll be eating. Some folks do find it helpful to have conversation cards around the table to encourage deeper discussion, but that's optional. If all you talk about is your life, your families, your work, that's a fantastic place to start. And communal meals meet our need for nourishment alongside our social emotional needs. Face it, we all need to eat. But communal meals can also be a tool for addressing food scarcity in our communities. And people are busy. By inviting folks to a meal, you temporarily eliminate the time burden of food preparation and the stress that goes along with that. When we remove that obstacle, we make it much easier for people to gather and therefore access community, begin to build those systems that they need to experience a sense of belonging. Now, the easier that a facilitator can make it for people to gather, the more likely they are to gather and to continue to return, to come back again and again to the table. Now, if you're hearing this and you think, I want to try that, amazing. I am so excited for you. I want to encourage you, start small. Prioritize accessibility. Make sure that you ask your guests if they have any dietary needs or allergies. And remember, these meals do not need to be extravagant. They don't need to be fancy or over the top. They can be simple and frugal and delightful. Start by maybe inviting 1 or 2 people over for dinner at your place once a month. Begin to create a sense of community with the people around your table, and then expand that community. Invite 1 or 2 more to join you. Outgrow your table. Start gathering in the park. You can expand your relationship with your community by locally sourcing your food or finding new places to gather. There are as many different expressions of this idea as there are people in this room, and I cannot wait to see what we do. Thank you.